$10. You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code MOVE to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code MOVE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code MOVE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Moments like making my kids my famous meatballs mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that has spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for adults with HR-positive HER2-negative NBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
Sick of being upsold in gyms? For just $300 more, you'll reach Sweat Platinum. At Planet Fitness, you'll get energy without the upsell. It's fitness that fits your budget. Just $1 down and $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, May 10th. See Home Club for details.
Time is ticking. The Rhode Island Capitol Police are urgently seeking courageous men and women to join their next training academy. The deadline to apply is fast approaching on May 10th. Step into a role that demands excellence and dedication. Safeguard the...
Yeah, that's one of the things that I love and attracted me about. Same with Licorice Pizza. When I first saw it, it's like the movies are like kind of about nothing. They're not what we're used to. And like, you know, like there's a big game at the end of it, and like if they win, it's a good movie. If they lose, it's like a sad ending. His are very like about like the feeling that you get from it, and also superhuman. So there's not that big of an arc. It's like if you can connect to something in it. The first one I think I personally connected to was Hard Eight, in like the father-son story. Once I realized that's what it was, it like recontextualized the entire thing. And a lot of the actions by characters and lines that seem like they're, I wouldn't say quirky, but they're like just kind of for no reason. Like you don't know why someone would start crying, or like Julianne Moore like freaking out in the drugstore. Oh my god! Like that doesn't make sense to like a regular person as a movie watcher. And then you kind of, I think, hopefully develop this like better palette to be able to put yourself in that shoes. Yeah. And I think that's what his movies do great. Is like getting you to think about the character's psyche more than just what you pulled to think. You know, they'll say like, "Oh, I'm happy."
No, it definitely like, you know, it definitely seems like some of the actions in these movies are like almost inside thoughts, like becoming like at like actual like actions. The little kid in this movie, I don't. Oh, he was so cute. Yeah, it was Stan. Yeah. So cute.
That broke my heart.
Oh my god, when he was like, "I'm not going up." Oh. I don't know who. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Poor Stan.
So sad.
It's so sad.
Again, the theme of like, these are the kids, and the way that like the kids of now are going to be the adults of later. Yes. And so like, you have to treat them right.
Yeah. And another thing that I always can't help but think, the first time I watched it, it was just this long movie, and it was interesting and good, and the filmmaking style is very crazy. I mean, if Goodfellas is fast-paced, this is a different language.
Almost erratic.
Yeah, very much so. But once it gets to that ending, it kind of justifies it all. But now, as in hindsight, knowing that if I'm gonna watch it, I'm gonna sit down for 3 hours. I think if this is a sub 2 hour movie with the same ending, it's, in my opinion, the best movie of the 90s.
Oh, I agree. I think it does kind of drag a little bit at points. I watched this, I think, in a couple sittings, which was nice, but I think it'll be interesting for me to go rewatch it in one full sitting when I have like 3 hours, because when I felt like I was like going on a journey, and And by the time I got to the frogs, I was like, oh my god, like this is like,
Yeah.
I think what's also so terrifying about this movie is it's so quote-unquote normal up until the frogs. Like, obviously, like you were saying, the filmmaking style is crazy and it moves super fast-paced, but other than that, like, the problems these characters are going through are, like, pretty normal.
Yeah.
But then it just kind of makes you think that, like, oh, literally tomorrow, frogs could just fall from the sky.
Well,
Or,
yeah,
like,
that's what I think about it, is that it's like the story of humanity, and there's like 9 different people. That's, I mean, of course there are more than 9 people in the world, but that's like the most you can kind of fit and pack into this movie. And it's basically this great case study of a lot of different people's lives and the hard times they experience. But then at the end, how I feel about the frogs is that it's like God's thumb or hand or some way greater force, like, just like, remember you're human. Like all all of that is like basically stomped on or trumped by these frog brain. It's like bigger than you could ever imagine, and it's like also to see it so gruesomely in real life, like heard of frog brain, but like
awful.
the little, they make us splat, whatever.
yeah, it's like, it was really gross.
On the cars? Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
terrifying.
Yeah.
But it's also, that's another, I mean, if you've seen Close Encounters of the Third Kind, the abduction sequence, it's like eerily similar. It's a guy driving his pickup truck and he kind of hears and he looks up the same way that John C. Reilly does when he's driving. And that's another way, I mean, a lot of the guys from the 90s, including Paul Thomas Anderson, like, pay homage / steal from a lot of the greats before them.
Yeah.
I know we can't possibly fit all of our thoughts, but does anybody have any last ones before we move on?
Favorite storyline in this movie?
Ooh.
I would say Frank T.J. Mackey, or
Oh, yeah.
Philip Seymour Hoffman ordering magazines or like
Yes,
for
that was
entries.
good.
Yeah, I think that one might be my favorite.
And one last thing, just related to his influences, is like Robert Altman, who's again he's a big fan of, I think, because he makes a lot of movies about California, and that's what PTA does. He is known for having these big like cast dramas. If Nashville is like 20 people, I don't know, it's a lot of people. So that's like, it's also, that's another cool little trace the lineage of him, and maybe the explanation for why there's 9.
Yeah.
9 different.
Oh my god, I almost forgot. This movie uses 2 of my favorite songs. Supertramp, the Logical Song, and Goodbye Stranger on their album Breakfast in America, which is like one of my favorite albums of all time. And nobody ever knows it when I talk about it. They're like, what's that? I don't know. So I was like, yes! I was like, yup, this movie is automatically better. Because first it was Goodbye Stranger. And then it was a Logical Song. I was like, oh my god, he's using 2! Yeah, that made me really happy. So, alright, let's very, very quickly talk about Punch Drunk Love.
It's a short movie compared to this.
Yeah, I'm gonna, tinyify this blurb because it's long. Okay, although susceptible to violent outbursts, bathroom supplies businessman owner Barry Egan is timid and shy by disposition, leading a lonely, uneventful life, partly due to the constant berating he suffers from his 7 sisters. However, several events transpire that shake up Egan's mundane existence, one of which is falling in love with one sister's co-worker, Lena Leonard, but the romance is threatened when Egan falls victim to an extortionist.
Oh.
He was so dumb on that phone call.
Yeah, he was so dumb.
What are you doing? Spoilers. What are you doing?
Oh, yeah.
My guy.
Oh, yeah. He just gives it all up instantly.
He keeps being like, is this confidential? No.
Yeah.
Of course not.
I promise it is. Yeah, yeah.
You're calling a stranger for $1.99 and you're like, oh, here's my social security number actually. Like, shut up.
Yeah. Well, so this is, again, historically, it comes right after Magnolia, and it's good to see that, I mean, obviously, here's the music that everyone is like, that was way too long, and it makes a very nice, convenient, short movie, which I also love. The soundtrack by John Bryan is one thing
so good.
I have to talk about. I mean, I think that is on par with Singing in the Rain, which I mentioned earlier, is one of my favorites.
Great soundtrack.
It's like a classic Hollywood musical, like, you hear the flute and the little, like, cascading and the rhythm, like this, it's beautiful.
I love how they use the tiny piano. Like, in the soundtrack. I didn't notice it until, like, a while into the movie, but I was like, oh my god, they're using tiny piano in the soundtrack.
It
so
felt
cool.
so, like, intentionally ironic. Like,
Yes.
when you'd have these romantic moments between Barry and Lena, and the soundtrack would be so tense because of what he was thinking and